A woman wants to live a rich life. She gets into bed with a fake rich heir. Soon she finds out she's pregnant. She feels secretly happy because the baby is like her ticket to enter high society. She pretends to be serious and shows the pregnancy test to her boyfriend. She says she doesn't want to hold him back, but inside she's overjoyed. The boyfriend is surprised and happy. He plans to take her home to meet his mother. The woman, URA, comes from a poor family. 5 family members live in their employer's house. URA has always cared about money and status. To impress her rich future mother-in-law, URA secretly uses her sister's card to spend $8 million. She buys expensive clothes. She also gets pricey wild ginseng for the mother-in-law. Her sister scolds her at home that money was for family expenses. It could feed the family for 4 months. URA doesn't care. She'll soon be rich. She says she'll pay back double later. But her rich dream crashes the next day. URA gets excited seeing a villa. She asks if this is their home. Her boyfriend says no, they need to walk more. He tells her to keep walking. URA doesn't think much of it. URA follows her boyfriend down a rough path. URA starts to doubt him. Would there really be a villa in such a remote place? She loses focus and twists her ankle. Her boyfriend takes her to a cafe to rest. URA uses this chance to voice her doubts. Junesio's hometown. Was that really his neighborhood? Just now, her boyfriend openly tells her the truth. The villa they stayed in that night actually belonged to a friend. He grew up in a single-parent family. His mother is a hard-working cleaner. He also has 2 younger brothers to support. URA instantly loses hope. This is no wealthy family. It's more like a bottomless pit. URA immediately breaks up with him. Her boyfriend tries to stop her, but a truck suddenly hits him. Instead of feeling sorry for him, URA runs away even faster. She goes to the hospital alone to abort the baby, but the doctor warns her if she does this, she may never get pregnant again. URA hesitates losing her chance to be a mother because of some poor guy. It's just not worth it. So she changes her mind. She decides to find a wealthy father for her child instead. She then shifts her target to this mentally challenged rich guy. She plans to make this foolish heir take the blame when Taepong wakes up the next morning and sees them both naked. His 7-year-old mental age only makes him feel shy. He has no idea what happened. After URA sends Taepong home, she tells Taepong's mom the lie she prepared. She claims Taepong insisted on leaving the taxi halfway. She says she found him completely soaked by rain because her phone died. They had to stay at a hotel overnight. Then URA starts her next plan. She asks someone to find her a clinic that can hide pregnancy dates. Then she puts a positive pregnancy test in her laundry on purpose. Soon URA's mom finds the pregnancy test. Her mom asks her anxiously what's going on. URA directly tells her that she's pregnant. She lies that it's Taepong's baby. Hearing this, URA's mom cries on the floor. She thinks Taepong has ruined her precious daughter. How can an unmarried pregnant woman face society? URA's parents go to Taepong's house and tell his mom everything under Taepong's mom's shocked gaze. URA looks at her seriously and says she claims she's pregnant with her son's child. She hopes Taepong's mother will approve their marriage. URA lies that she and Taepong have liked each other since childhood. Just then Yujong hears this news. Her heart breaks, because when they were kids Taepong was still a normal boy. Back then he promised to marry Yujong someday. He even gave her a hairpin. But URA was already a girl who cared too much about appearances. She secretly took the hairpin meant for her sister, then bragged to friends that her parents bought it from Hong Kong Disneyland. Seeing her friends' envy, URA loved the attention. But suddenly a friend who knew the truth exposes her. The friend says her dad is just Taepong's family driver, not some rich man. The friends feel angry about URA's lies. They surround URA and keep insulting her until she accidentally falls into the water. Taepong spots the hairpin floating nearby, thinking it's Yujong, his promised future wife. He jumps in without hesitation, but he can't swim either. He struggles to save URA, reaching for her in the water. But the tragedy happens just like that. Because of this incident, Taepong gets brain damage and stays at a 7-year-old's mental age. Yujong knows very well that Taepong jumped in because of her. Now Yujong plans to confess to Taepong's mom today and marry Taepong to take care of him forever. But then she hears this news. Yujong refuses to believe it's true. She needs to check the facts to feel at ease. But before she can ask, she hears the answer outside the door that Taepong innocently says he slept with URA. But it's too embarrassing. Taepong says they both took off their clothes. Yujong is heartbroken and full of sorrow. But she accidentally learns from her brother that night URA begged him to go pick up Taepung. Why did Taepung get out halfway? But what Yura told Yujong was her brother begged Yura to pick up Taepung. Her brother finds it strange, because his older sister never liked Taepung. Why would she offer to pick him up? Yujong is also very confused. Then Yujong hears from Taepung that the driver forced him out of the car. This makes Yujong feel more and more that something isn't right. She must figure out the truth. So she finds Yura. She asks for the taxi driver's phone number. Yura gets angry at Yujong for doubting her. But Yujong keeps pushing for answers. Yura has no choice but to tell her. That night, after her sister falls asleep, Yura secretly calls the driver. She reminds him to stay silent about Taepung's kidnapping. But just then Yujong appears. Yujong asks if her sister planned all this. She demands the truth. Yura mumbles a weak denial. Yujong shouts, "How could she do this? How could she do this?" Turns out it was just a bad dream from guilt. But the next day when Yujong meets the driver, she still gets no answers. Later the driver reports back to Yura. He says Yujong still suspects her. This makes Yura very nervous. She can't let her sister ruin her chance to marry into wealth. So she confronts Yujong directly. The best way to hide a lie is to reveal it. Yura admits that on the night Taepung disappeared, it's because of me. I just wanted to go on a date with Taepung because 12 years ago he risked everything to save me. That's why he's mentally disabled now. Now it's my turn to protect Taepung. Appa Yura even puts on a pitiful act. She says her career is failing and people bully her. She doesn't want to work hard anymore. Taepung, the rich heir, is now her perfect safe haven. Shamelessly, she asks her sister to bless her marriage with Taepung. Yujong can't bear it. But she can't let her sister's unborn child grow up without a father. But Yura still won't admit to pulling Taepung out of the taxi if she admits that Yujong would never agree so easily. Returning home, Yura finally relaxes. Now Yujong shouldn't have any reason to doubt her. What's done is done. Yura's parents finally approve of her marriage to Taepung. But before Yura can celebrate, she hears her ex-boyfriend in the hospital might wake up soon. This terrifies her. She rushes to the hospital to check. Before marrying into wealth, Yura must make sure nothing goes wrong. Luckily, the man lying on the hospital bed only shows some reaction to outside stimuli. His condition hasn't improved further, but regaining consciousness is just a matter of time. Yura silently begs her ex-boyfriend, "Please never open your eyes again." But Yura doesn't really believe her begging will work. She can't delay marrying into the rich family for too long. She worries something might go wrong. So she immediately tells both sets of parents that she wants the wedding next week. Everyone thinks it's too fast and rushed. But when Yura insists on having the wedding quickly, they agree. Then she drags her rich mother-in-law to buy the most expensive wedding dress. She picks the heaviest ring. She just keeps buying things. Soon, Yura and Taepung's wedding happens as planned. Facing her family's blessings, Yura in her wedding dress smiles victoriously. Meanwhile, her sister Yujong feels heartbroken because her childhood friend Taepung is marrying her sister. This causes her great emotional pain. She's been coughing a lot recently from the stress. On her way to the bathroom, she suddenly faints. Taepung happens to see this. Not knowing what to do, he carries Yujong and runs away. The next moment Yura is shocked to find both her sister and Taepung missing. This makes her panic. She can't afford any mistakes at this crucial moment. But everyone searches the entire hotel. They can't find them. Meanwhile, Taepung takes Yujong to the hospital. As you can guess, with the groom gone, the wedding can't continue. Yura's face looks like she ate something disgusting. She's furious. Her perfect plan is ruined by her sister. Her anger burns like a volcano about to erupt. When Yujong returns with Taepung, Yura's anger finally explodes. She slaps her sister hard. Then she realizes she's being rude in front of her rich mother-in-law. So she pretends to faint from the shock of everything. This successfully saves her from embarrassment. She even gets sympathy from the family. But Yujong suffers. Her mother scolds her harshly for ruining her sister's wedding. Yujong holds back tears full of sadness she can't express. Yura learns the next available wedding date is 2 months later. She can't wait that long. If her ex-boyfriend wakes up before then everything will be ruined. She quickly tells her parents. She says they can cancel the wedding. She claims she doesn't care about formalities. They can just register their marriage directly. But Taepung suddenly speaks up. He says he doesn't want to marry Yura. This leaves everyone completely confused. Yura's mom directly scolds Taepung. She calls him an irresponsible man. But Yura thinks to herself, Her sister Yujong turned Taepong against her angry. She confronts her sister. Yujong tells her sister she would never say such things to Taepong. Just then they hear Taepong has disappeared again. Yujong quickly finds him, knowing him well. Though Taepong has a 7-year-old's mind, he knows what he likes and what he doesn't. His heart has always belonged to Yujong. Only with Yujong does he feel truly happy. Yujong feels the same way, but she has no choice but to threaten him if he doesn't marry Yura, she'll disappear from his life forever. Taepong can't bear to lose her. When Taepong gets home, he follows Yujong's words. He obediently agrees to marry Yura. Yura finally feels relieved. She says, "I love you," right in front of Taepong. But behind his back, she shows a smug face of success. Now that she's the daughter-in-law of a rich family, Yura must get revenge for past humiliations. From her friend's social media, she learns the schedule of those who bullied her. She takes her rich mother-in-law and goes straight there pretending it's just a casual drive with her mother-in-law. This makes the mother-in-law like Yura even more. Yura finds her chance and corners her target in the restroom. This rich girl once used her family's power to steal Yura's dream job. Now this rich girl doesn't know Yura's new status. She immediately starts mocking poor Yura for working there. Yura stays calm. She has all the confidence. Now, when the rich girl's mom enters, Yura remembers how this woman slapped her in an elevator before. Without hesitation, she slaps the rich girl. Getting revenge with powerful backing feels amazing. Yura enjoys this feeling. But the rich girl's mom fights back. She immediately slaps Yura too. Yura's mother-in-law sees her daughter-in-law getting slapped. She angrily asks Nayoung and her mother who they think they are. How dare they hit her pregnant daughter-in-law? Meanwhile, Yura smirks with a sly, victorious grin. She clearly wanted her mother-in-law to see her being hit. Back at home, Yura exaggerates the story of her past suffering. She once worked hard for her dreams. But Nayoung not only stole her future, but Nayoung's mother also humiliated her. Poor Yura had no choice but to endure it. This makes her mother-in-law feel deep sympathy for her. Now Yura's next move is the real revenge against Nayoung and her mother. Turns out Yura's mother-in-law's company is a major client of Nayoung's uncle's business. Yura deliberately let her mother-in-law see her being hit so she could target Nayoung's uncle's company. She convinces her mother-in-law to cancel a huge order from Nayoung's uncle's company. This hits Nayoung and her mother where it hurts the most. The next day, Nayoung's mother apologizes to Yura, smiling like a desperate fool. But Nayoung still refuses to accept reality. She thinks Yura is just a lucky upstart not worth lowering herself to please. But reality is harsh. If they don't please Yura today, they might end up homeless. But Yura won't accept empty apologies. She tells them, as the saying goes, life is unpredictable, so bad deeds bring bad results. How you treated me before, do the same to your daughter now. No one expected Yura to say such things. Who knows when her own bad karma will come? Who seems like evil? People need evil to fix them. For her brother's company. Nayoung's mom has no choice but to hurt her daughter. But every daughter is a mother's treasure. How could she bear to do it? So she drops her pride, instead kneeling to beg Yura for mercy. Seeing enough, Yura throws their past insults right back at them. Just like you told me. People must pick the right side. Nayoung, don't blame me. Blame your useless mom if you must, and your useless uncle. Finally, the mother and daughter face reality. They bow and nod nervously as they send Yura away in the car. Yura waves her arms excitedly. This is the superior feeling she wanted. Otherwise, she wouldn't have fought so hard to marry into wealth. But as Yura said, bad deeds bring bad results. Her punishment as a villain comes quickly. At home, she suddenly receives a letter inside. It is a photo of her with her ex-boyfriend Junesio. Yura rushes to see her unconscious ex-boyfriend Junesio, but Junesio's condition hasn't improved. He couldn't have sent the photo. She thinks of someone else and leaves in a hurry. Little does she know someone is following her. A man with a swaying walk dances happily to himself. But just then Yura angrily finds the taxi driver who helped her kidnap Taepong. Before she thinks he's blackmailing her for more money. The taxi driver angrily tells her he may do shady work, but he has morals. He would never blackmail a client. He's an honest bad guy. Yura can't find who's ruining her rich life dream. Frustrated, she stomps her feet in panic. Yura racks her brain, but can't figure out who did it. So Yura frantically decides to get the marriage certificate with Taepong first. This way she officially joins the rich family. Even if her past is exposed, she won't end up with nothing. But just as URA waits to register, a text from a mysterious person sends URA into panic again. It warns URA, if you dare to register, the moment you do, I'll tell your mother-in-law everything. In the end, URA doesn't take the risk. She knows that person is watching her from somewhere. She pretends to have a stomachache and postpones the registration. Back home, URA gets a call from the mysterious person. They know URA's baby isn't Taepung's, and all about her schemes. But URA still lies, insisting the baby is Taepung's. The mysterious person doesn't argue. They tell her to go to a specific hospital for a prenatal check. If she refuses, they'll expose everything. URA has no choice but to go at the hospital. URA is nervous and sweating with fear. If they check, the test will expose all her lies. She panics in the bathroom like an ant on a hot pan. Then she suddenly gets an idea. Just as URA's turn for the checkup comes, the fire alarm suddenly goes off. Turns out URA lit a trash can in the bathroom on fire. This triggers the fire alarm system. Her mother-in-law quickly takes her and flees the hospital. URA narrowly avoids disaster again. The mysterious man is amazed by URA's trick to avoid the test. He admires her cleverness. He says only someone like her could think of this. URA also has an honest investigator. Look into Junesio's family. The investigator finds no trace of Junesio's brother. So the investigator shows URA a family photo of Junesio. When she sees the person in the photo, her face fills with shock and disbelief. The mysterious man she's been searching for is actually her own driver. URA is confused. No one knew about her past relationship with Junesio. How does his brother know about it? And how does he know she's pregnant with Junesio's child? When URA got pregnant, Junesio was overjoyed. He shared the exciting news with his younger brother. His brother was happy for his beloved older brother. But when Junesio brought URA home to meet his parents, URA, who thought Junesio was rich, she finds out he's just a poor man. She immediately leaves Junesio, taking their unborn child with her. Junesio gets into a car accident while trying to stop her. That same day, his brother and mother were excited for URA's visit, but a phone call makes the brother meet Junesio at the hospital. When the brother hears URA's cruel goodbye to Junesio and her plan to find a rich father for the baby, he gets extremely angry. He tries everything to become Taepung's driver and get close to URA. He wants justice for his brother. Even after learning the truth, URA still denies the baby is Junesio's. She lies and says Junesio's child died long ago. Driver Kim would believe pigs can fly. Before trusting URA's words, he says they can do a DNA test after the baby is born. URA feels scared and bitter inside, but she won't just wait for trouble. She decides to fake the DNA test results while Driver Kim is out. URA searches his room for the hospital name, but Driver Kim suddenly comes back. URA quickly hides in the closet, but just then Mr. Kim is on the phone with the hospital doing the test. URA finally learns which hospital it is. After Mr. Kim leaves, URA feels lucky. She got the info so easily. Now she can finally be saved. But when URA opens the door, she gets a huge shock. Mr. Kim already knew about URA's plan to fake the test results. He tells URA directly, I know why you're being greedy. This family is richer than I thought. Now enjoy being their daughter-in-law. When the baby is born, that will be the end for you. URA cries bitterly. She feels extremely unfair. She worked so hard to marry into this rich family, but because of Junesio's appearance, she now feels like a prisoner waiting for execution. Soon it's URA's due date. Her mother-in-law is surprised. The baby is early, but she's too excited to meet her grandson to think much about it. Mr. Kim leaves to run an errand. What he doesn't know is there's oil leaking under his car. URA is now on the operating table. She tries hard to become a mother. As URA screams in pain during labor, Driver Kim keeps pressing the brakes, but it's no use. The brakes don't work. Finally, the car takes a sharp turn, spins 720 degrees and stops. Driver Kim is covered in blood. His condition is unknown. At the same time, URA finally becomes a mother. She gives birth to a son. Both families are very happy about this. URA hears her mother-in-law calling Driver Kim repeatedly, with no answer. She smiles secretly, thinking her plan worked. Just as URA thinks she can relax and live as a rich man's wife, Driver Kim appears before her covered in blood. URA looks at him in terror as he slowly approaches. But Driver Kim is too badly hurt, he collapses without saying a word. But the truth can't stay hidden forever. Driver Kim knows very well URA tampered with his car, but without proof he can't do anything. Right now he doesn't care about that. He immediately takes URA and the baby for a paternity test. He's confident once the results come out all of URA's lies will fall apart. But what Mr. Kim doesn't expect is the paternity test results show the child isn't his brother's. He can't believe this is true, but he chose the hospital himself. URA couldn't have tampered with it. Actually, URA did her research beforehand. She found an article online saying if a newborn drinks breast milk, within 1 hour the mouth cells collected will show the mother's DNA, not the father's. So URA breastfed the baby before the mouth cells were taken. That's why the test results don't match Junesio's DNA. The older ginger is spicier. Mr. Kim loses completely to URA. He even almost loses his life. URA's tricks are truly clever. To end all future trouble, URA quits Mr. Kim's job for him. She makes him leave the house forever. With all obstacles gone, she feels overjoyed holding her money-making puppet. She's thrilled, but she still feels something is missing. They haven't registered their marriage yet. For the final step, she acts immediately. But then she accidentally overhears mother-in-law doesn't have enough money. She is selling her property. URA then asks her father about it. She learns mother-in-law is building a town for disabled people. It needs a lot of money. Also, the company isn't doing well. Mother-in-law has to sell her property to ease the pressure. Hearing this, she drops her plan to register the marriage. She decides to wait and see how much money the family really has. So she sneaks into mother-in-law's room. She looks for bank books or proof of wealth. She must find out if this family is rich. She doesn't want to waste her time that URA searches everywhere but finds no bank books. Instead, she finds many unknown medicines mother-in-law takes as she wonders about them. Mother-in-law walks in quick thinking. URA lies and says she came for headache medicine. She avoids trouble this time, with no answers. URA must know if the family has money. She doesn't want to waste her youth on the wrong family. So she takes her husband with a 7-year-old's mind to check how much he owns. Annoyed by his childish talk, she pushes Taepung hard toward the inquiry window. But the result makes URA frown. Taepung only owns one building. This makes her nervous. To be safe, she asks someone to find out about her mother-in-law's money and company funds. URA can't rest until she knows the family's wealth. She feels lost all day, afraid her rich dreams will break. Until she knows the truth, she won't register her child's birth certificate. She keeps an escape plan ready. Later, checking her mother-in-law's assets, she finds most money was spent on the barrier-free town project. URA wants to know what profits this project will bring. But Sangpyo, the investigator, doesn't know. This makes URA panic. She quickly asks her mother-in-law to visit the town. She says she wants to see the scenery. Her real goal is hidden. Seeing the huge construction site, her mother-in-law's words break her heart completely. This is her mother-in-law's charity project. It won't make any money in the future. Her mother-in-law sees through URA's plan. She knows what URA is thinking, so she tells her, "Don't worry, I've already prepared all the money you'll need in the future." Hearing this, URA finally stops crying and smiles. But today at the hospital, Jae-Hai learns she has cancer. But she refuses painful cancer treatments. That would waste her remaining time. She just wants to spend her limited time with her son as much as possible. Watching her carefree son play happily, Jae-Hai feels completely at peace. Her simple-minded son married well and started a family, and she even got to hold her grandchild as she wished. Now she feels she can die without regrets. She's truly thankful for URA coming into their lives. She entrusts URA with her son's future happiness. I wonder if Jae-Hai would still feel at peace if she knew all of URA's lies. Haha, but that's for later. After a tiring day out, Jae-Hai's illness flares up. She vomits painfully in the bathroom. Hearing the noise, URA asks outside what's wrong. Jae-Hai doesn't tell the truth. She says she just choked on some food. But her poor condition is obvious to see. Her face looks pale. She has lost a lot of weight too. So URA decides to sneak into her mother-in-law's room again. She wants to find out the reason. She searches around and quickly finds an envelope with documents. To her shock, all the property has been donated to a disability welfare foundation. Not a single penny was left for herself. At this moment, she feels extremely angry and frustrated. She only married her stupid son because of this property. She even gave them a grandson. Now she has lost everything for nothing. URA can't let this big prize slip away from her. By chance, she hears from her parents that the welfare foundation has problems with their construction bids. She immediately uses this information and asks Sangpyo to investigate the foundation and construction company. She suspects they are secretly working together. URA wants to expose the foundation's dirty secrets and show them to her mother-in-law. Then her mother-in-law won't donate the property to this shady foundation. Instead, she will leave everything to Taepong, and since URA is his wife, the property will eventually be hers. This makes perfect sense to her. But URA also needs to make her mother-in-law believe. She must make her mother-in-law believe she is the only one who can protect her son. Only then will the mother fully trust URA to inherit the property and care for Taepong. So URA hires someone. They steal a stranger's wallet. Then they place it in Taepong's shopping basket. This frames Taepong as a thief. Soon URA and the mother arrive at the police station. Now URA gets to perform for her mother-in-law. She shows off her ability to protect her husband. She yells at the woman, "Do you have proof? My husband stole this." Then she slams the table and questions the officers. She scolds them for forcing a search on someone with disabilities. "That's illegal," she shouts. An officer brings the supermarket surveillance footage. The video shows what really happened. The woman sees Taepong didn't do it. She immediately smiles, trying to smooth things over. The mother-in-law also wants to drop the matter. But URA won't miss this chance to perform. She puts on an act, pretending to speak for disabled people. She says, "Because of people like you, disabled folks get blamed unfairly. You must apologize to Taepong, that URA is truly the most cunning woman. I've never seen anyone more scheming than her. Her act works perfectly." Jeong-hae looks at URA with admiration. She says, "With you by Taepong's side, now I can feel at ease." Later URA asks Sangpyo to investigate the welfare foundation, and they get results. Just as she expected, she immediately shows the photos to her mother-in-law. She explains how the construction company cuts corners every month and secretly gives the saved money to the welfare center. She tells her mother-in-law everything. Jeong-hae is shocked by this news. The disabled welfare center is her life's work. She can't let anything go wrong. She immediately confronts Wayun, the foundation's leader. She demands Wayun show the accounting books, or she will call the police. Wayun hesitates, but asks for 3 days to prepare. She promises to hand over the books, then strike while the iron is hot. URA works hard to win her mother-in-law's trust. She does everything she can. She asks a friend to dig deeper. They find out. Jeong-hae was tricked. The foundation sold her land at a price higher than the market rate. Now Jeong-hae realizes the truth. She was fooled by the foundation. She can't accept that her life's work has become someone else's profit. She is heartbroken. Meanwhile, URA is overjoyed. It feels like her mother-in-law's wealth is already in her bank account. URA happily heads home with armfuls of shopping bags. Suddenly, the man standing before her shocks her so badly her back gives out. Heaven did not grant URA's wicked wish. Her ex-boyfriend Jun Seo has woken up. The first thing Jun Seo does after waking up is find URA and ask about their child. But Jeong-hae, who was about to leave, overhears them. Jeong-hae is stunned by the words, "our child," in their conversation. She demands to know what's going on. Though URA is terrified and panicked, she has no choice but to ask her mother-in-law to go inside so she can explain. Then she glares and tells Jun Seo to wait for her at the noodle shop. This is a heart-stopping night. URA's dream of becoming rich might be over. But URA uses her acting skills and a web of lies to calmly explain to Jeong-hae that man was someone she dated in the past, but they broke up long ago. After his accident his brain was damaged, so he's just rambling nonsense. Jeong-hae isn't easily convinced by URA's story. But just then the phone rings, interrupting their talk that URA narrowly escapes the danger for now. She rushes to find Jun Seo and tells him never to disturb her life again. She tells him the child died long ago. But Jun Seo isn't stupid. No matter how he calculates it, the child URA just had matches the timing of her past pregnancy. If counted from when she married Taepong, the dates don't add up. Jun Seo insists that URA take another paternity test. URA looks at Jun Seo. He can barely take care of himself now. So she tells him, even if the child is yours, with your current situation and health, how can you give the child a happy life? Do you want the child to grow up poor with you? Every word URA says pierces Jun Seo's heart. But URA's mother-in-law won't easily believe her story. She visits Jun Seo in the hospital to ask for the truth. URA learns from her mother that her mother-in-law went to the hospital panicked. She rushes there immediately. If Jun Seo tells the truth to her mother-in-law, She knows exactly what terrible consequences she'll face. She's fully aware of it. URA runs as fast as she can. She arrives just in time. Terrified, she shakes her head, begging Jun Seo not to admit anything. But Jun Seo chooses not to tell the truth. URA's earlier words affect him deeply. She really has side effects, and they will get worse. What can someone like him do for the child? In the end, he can only helplessly wish URA happiness. He tells her to raise the child. Well, this is such a painful choice for Jun Seo. But for URA, it's just removing an obstacle on her way to wealth. But life is unpredictable. Jae-young-hae returns home. She accidentally learns from her in-law that URA has type O blood. This is serious. Her son has AB blood. Their child's blood type should be either A or B. How can the child be AB? This is impossible. She immediately takes hair samples for a paternity test. But her daughter-in-law finds out about this after her mother-in-law leaves. URA rushes in and stops the doctor. Later, URA comes out of the hospital smiling. She's glad she arrived in time. She uses her money power to bribe the tester. Otherwise, her rich dream would end today. The test results will come out by 7 p.m. URA gets a call from the testing hospital. She pretends to be very surprised. Then she hands the phone to her mother-in-law. But after the call ends, her mother-in-law shows no expression. Still, URA is sure her mother-in-law now knows the child is her real grandson. So URA starts her great acting. She carefully asks her mother-in-law if she did a paternity test on the child. Then she acts very hurt. She starts complaining. How could you doubt me, Mom? I've worked hard for this family without complaining. This hurts me so much. URA feels so proud of herself, she almost gives herself an acting award. But she doesn't notice. Her mother-in-law is watching her like a clown. Just then the doorbell rings. URA gets a package for her mother-in-law. The older woman is smarter. The package is another paternity test report. Her mother-in-law used 2 labs for testing to stop URA from cheating. URA still tries to explain herself, but her mother-in-law grabs the report to see the truth. Just as Jae-young-hae is about to reveal it, 2 police officers rush in. They arrest her for a hit and run. She is taken away immediately, but this crucial paternity test report is taken by URA and destroyed. Does URA have some divine help? She always escapes danger at critical moments. Jae-young-hae is brought to the police station. A young eyewitness points at her, saying she fled after the accident. Locked in the cell, Jae-young-hae cries loudly, claiming innocence. Hwa-yeon from the welfare center framed her. Hwa-yeon argues with a man in a dark mountain forest. She accidentally pushes him off a cliff, killing him. Terrified, Hwa-yeon doesn't know what to do. Her secretary suggests a plan. They decide to blame Jae-young-hae for everything. They trick her into passing the accident site by asking her to deliver account books. Jae-young-hae falls into the trap. On her way to meet Hwa-yeon, she sees the dead man lying on the ground. She gets out to check and calls the police. Jae-young-hae's every move is recorded by Hwa-yeon's secretary. This becomes fake evidence against her. That's why Jae-young-hae keeps shouting that she's innocent after being arrested. What a poor woman. In her final days, she faces danger from all sides. URA feels no pity for her mother-in-law's situation. She shows no sympathy at all. She only thinks heaven is helping her overcome this trouble. But her foolish son, Tae-pung, keeps thinking about how to help his mom find the truth. After URA refuses to help Tae-pung find evidence, he turns to Yoo-jong for help. After searching day and night, they find many suspicious clues at the scene. Then Yoo-jong checks the ambulance dashcam and notices the witness is lying. The current witness has yellow hair, but the video shows a tall man with black hair. Clearly the yellow-haired guy is fake. Meanwhile, while packing her mother-in-law's clothes, URA finds unknown medicine at the hospital. She learns her mother-in-law has late-stage blood cancer. She only has 3 months left. URA absolutely doesn't want her to be released, so she tells the police she witnessed her mother-in-law fleeing the crime. She claims it was definitely her. Just as Jae-young-hae is about to be freed due to lack of evidence, the police arrest her again. They say, "A new witness proves you're the killer." Her hope turns to despair. In an instant, Jae-young-hae breaks down, crying again from this emotional roller coaster. Then URA disgustingly puts on fake tears in front of her mother-in-law. She pretends not to know who this new witness could be. "We all know you're not that kind of person, Mom. Because that person is really the reason you can't even go home now." After returning home, URA hides the fact that she's the new witness and begs the police to keep it secret. She thinks to herself, "Just stay locked up. Even if you try to get out, I'll stop you again." Then Ura forges her mother-in-law's while seeing this perfect chance. She plans to steal the family fortune. As they say, money talks. Ura bribes the will's lawyer with just 10% of the inheritance. Though Taepong has a child's mind, he feels deep pain seeing his mother suffer. He and Yujong work hard to find evidence. Taepong shows Jiang-hai the ambulance's dashcam footage. Finally, she realizes who framed her. Furious, she calls Wayun. She angrily asks why Wayun did this. She demands to know if it was just to hide Wayun's corruption. This shocks Wayun deeply. She decides, no matter what, she can't let Jiang-hai leave prison, otherwise she will be ruined. Poor Jiang-hai, she doesn't know. Two groups of people are trying everything to stop her from getting out. Now she knows Wayun framed her to hide the corruption scandal. She tells herself she must escape first and use Wayun's corruption evidence to fight back. But Jiang-hai suddenly falls ill and is sent to the hospital. The doctor tells Jiang-hai there is one way to leave its medical parole. Jiang-hai is overjoyed, but when Ura hears her mother-in-law might get out, she is furious. She won't let Jiang-hai get medical parole. She tears up the application form. At the same time, Wayun learns Jiang-hai has cancer and won't live long. After gloating for a while, she orders her secretary to deal with Jiang-hai before she gets out. Jiang-hai's condition worsens, and she is moved to intensive care. This gives her enemies the perfect chance to strike. It's a race between Ura and Wayun to see who acts first. Just as expected, someone sneaks into Jiang-hai's hospital room at night. Wayun's secretary reaches out. She quickly grabs the oxygen mask. Then she carefully leaves the room and disappears without oxygen. Jiang-hai starts shaking. She struggles violently on the hospital bed. When Jiang-hai dies, some cry while others smile. Taepong is heartbroken by his mother's sudden death. Ura immediately tells her lawyer to sell all her mother-in-law's property fast. Wayun feels relieved. Not only is she free from murder suspicion, she also takes all the money Jiang-hai invested. Ura takes the cash from the sales. She leaves everyone behind to start a new life. She only says goodbye to her mother. Her mother begs her not to abandon the family, but Ura won't listen. Dreaming of wealth, Ura stays stubborn. She tells her mother, I won't let you hold me back from success. If my past can't help me, I'll throw it all away. That's my life motto. Ura's mother doesn't want Taepong, with a child's mind, raising the baby, so she gives the child to another family. Because Ura took most of the family's money with her, Ura's mother had to cut living costs, so she made this tough choice. When Taepong learns his child is gone, he searches everywhere like crazy for him. Now his mother is dead, his wife left him, and his child is all he has left. Then Taepong accidentally gets a security video from a neighbor. It shows someone stealing the car's dashcam footage. He gives this evidence to the police, hoping to find the thief and clear his mother's name. Wayun soon learns about Taepong's move. Though Taepong has a child's mind, she decides to silence him to be safe. Soon some men kidnap Taepong. He senses they mean harm, so he grabs the steering wheel. The car spins out and crashes into a hill. Taepong escapes right away, but the men in black catch him again. Taepong fights back hard. Then someone hits his head with a bat. He passes out and falls into the sea. A woman sits crying by the shore. She misses her dead husband, the husband she's thinking of. He is the man Han Ura pushed to his death. As Jisoo decides to live bravely and prepares to leave, she spots Taepong lying motionless in the distance. The world is so big, yet their fates become tangled together again. But fate hasn't given up on Taepong. It gives him another chance to live. Meanwhile, Ura wears designer clothes and carries a suitcase full of money ready to leave. She swears to the sky, I will come back. She will make her rich dreams come true. Even if she meets Taepong again, she will pretend not to know him. She won't let him ruin her plans.